Are these flights now on their way back to America with all of these Venezuelan gangs?
Yeah. Yeah, that's my understanding. This judge says, don't send the hardened criminals back to where they belong. Bring them back to the country so I can evaluate them. And again, this is the same judge, by the way, Maria, who a few years ago, when there was information taken to the FISA court that was false, the guy who falsified that information, this lawyer, Kevin Kleinsmith, basically, Judge Boasberg gave him a slap on the wrist. So this is that same judge. Don't let the hardened criminals leave, even though the head of the executive branch, Article 2, Section 1, says executive power shall be vested in a president of the United States. This is his prerogative. He followed the law. He did this. This judge says, no, no, no. Bring the hardened criminals back. Bring the gang members back. And we're going to have a hearing on it. I think it's set for next Friday. So, yeah, this is kind of ridiculous. But frankly, we probably should have suspected this from a judge who did what he did with Kevin Kleinsmith and that whole FISA court stuff back during the fake Trump-Russia collusion baloney.
Well, I'm glad you brought it up. I was going to bring it up. Judge Boasberg sat on there as the presiding judge on the FISA court. It's the judge who gave the FBI lawyer Kevin Kleinsmith a slap on the wrist and basically, what did he do? He manufactured evidence used in the Carter Page FISA application that defrauded the court. So should we just expect constant pushback and resistance from this judge because he doesn't like Trump and has been trying to undo Trump for years?
Well, remember what he did. The guy, Kevin Kleinsmith, actually altered a document. He falsified a piece of information taken to the court. It made it mean exactly 180 degrees opposite of what the actual email said.
Exactly.
And the whole underlying case was here. The Clinton campaign went to the Perkins Coie. Perkins Coie hired Fusion GPS, who hired a foreigner, Christopher Steele, who put together a fake false document in addition to what Kevin Kleinsmith did, this dossier that Jim Comey took to the court so they could go spy on President Trump's campaign. So that's the background. And now this guy is saying, oh, let the hardened criminals come back to America. Makes no sense. This is why the American people support what President Trump is doing and are fed up with these judges. Now, we took some action a couple of weeks ago in our committee. We said these federal judges, these district federal judges who issue some kind of injunction, some kind of hearing, or some kind of decision, I should say, that decision should only apply to the parties of the case in that respective jurisdiction, not have nationwide implications. So that's a step we took in committee 2 weeks ago to help deal with this problem. And we're willing to look at everything else as well, because the American people are fed up with the judge in Timbuktu, California, saying something that then applies to the entire country.
And, of course, the entire country now will have to watch to see if these hardened criminals or these alleged Venezuela Tren de Aragua members, gang members, are going to be back on the streets in our big cities. But let me get back to what you're doing at Judiciary Committee, because you sent 7 subpoenas to the FBI. You're trying to get into this politicization and remove politics from our law enforcement agencies. Have you heard back? What were the subpoenas? Tell us about that.
Yeah, we have. Yeah, we have. And first of all, let me just say, God bless Pam Bondi. She's exactly right on this sanctuary city issue. I mean, and there's a whole new team in town, as the country can see. 8 weeks, what President Trump's done to secure the border, and now the action he's taken on sanctuary cities. And Pam Bondi saying you're not going to get the money, and if you're assisting or making it tough for law enforcement, federal law enforcement, to do their job, there are going to be implications, maybe even prosecutions. God bless her for the work she's doing. We sent subpoenas to Director Patel. He's already started to comply. What a contrast with, Chris Wray and Merrick Garland and that crazy Justice Department run under the Biden administration. So he's already started to send us information on the school boards issue. We still have answers there. Why were you investigating moms and dads showing up to speak up for their kids at a school board meeting? The Catholic memorandum in the Richmond field office, where they said if you're a pro-life Catholic, that somehow you're an extremist. We've asked for information regarding the 26 confidential human sources. To me, this is huge. 26 confidential human sources there on January 6, 2021. 17 entered restricted space. 4 went inside the Capitol. They weren't authorized to do that. 2 of the 4 who went inside the Capitol were actually asked to be there that day by our FBI at the time, by Christopher Wray. We got all kinds of questions. What were they doing? How much were they paid? How did they go in the Capitol? Did they go through a broken window? Were they the first to enter? I mean, there's a ton of questions I think the American people want answers to, not to mention who planted the pipe bombs. That's another issue. Not to mention how Iran hacking into President Trump's campaign. So we've asked for all this. Cash has already begun to send us information. We get the rest of that information tomorrow, and we're looking forward to that.
All right, so you're waiting on information that you'll get tomorrow. You're also working on the engagement between major technology companies and the Biden administration over the censorship of information. Tell me where you are on that. I'm talking about, you know, Google and Apple and Microsoft. What specifically do you want to learn?
Well, we want to know how much pressure came from the Biden administration, because we know it did, and we've learned a lot already. And frankly, we feel like we've been a part of what President Trump, Elon Musk, and others have done in stopping the censorship. Remember, it was just last August when we got a letter from Mark Zuckerberg to the committee where he said the Biden administration pressured us to censor. We did it, we're sorry, and we won't do it again. And they've now subsequently changed policy, and they've now followed the same policy that Elon Musk has at Twitter, and that policy is basically embrace the First Amendment, for goodness sakes.
What?
The best way to deal with false speech and wrong speech is more speech. So that's what's happened thus far. But we're also interested in what's happening in the AI realm. What did the Biden administration do to pressure tech companies when they were rolling out their AI models and how that works? So we're looking at that issue. And frankly, also, we've sent letters to the European Union. We've sent letters to the United Kingdom and tech companies asking what is happening with the Online Privacy Act that took place in Great Britain, the Digital Services Act in the EU, and how is that impacting American speech, because they're applying these standards in a global fashion. We think the First Amendment, as one of our witnesses said in a hearing last week, she said the hallmark of Western civilization is the ability to debate. And if you can't debate, if only one side's allowed to speak, the alternatives to settling disputes is frightening, and we never want to go there. So this is really, we think, really important, protecting our liberties, and the most important liberty we have is our right to speak. Because if you can't speak, you can't practice your faith, you can't share your faith, you can't petition the government, and you don't have a free press. It's the most important right we have. And so our committee is focused on protecting that fundamental liberty.